Okay, real talk. How are you feeling right now? And I don't mean the thing you say when someone asks at a party. I mean actually. Because here's what I'm noticing. It's late December, and a lot of you are not okay. You're running on empty. You're snapping at people you love. You're staring at your to-do list like it's written in a foreign language. And everyone keeps telling you, oh, it's just the holidays. It'll get better in January. But will it, though? Because what if I told you that what you're experiencing isn't just tiredness? It's not just stress. It's something researchers actually have a name for, and it affects almost 90% of people during this time of year. Holiday burnout. And the wild part? Most people don't even realize they have it until they're face down on the couch in January, wondering what the hell just happened. So let's talk about why this happens, why it hits some of us way harder than others, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it that doesn't involve just resting more. Here's the thing, nobody tells you. Your brain doesn't know the difference between actual danger and holiday stress. Think about that for a second. You're lying awake at 3 in the morning wondering how you're going to afford all the gifts, or dreading that family dinner where your uncle's definitely going to say something offensive. Your nervous system is responding the exact same way it would if you were being chased. Your body floods with adrenaline, your heart rate spikes, you're in fight or flight mode. Except the thing you're fighting is your credit card bill, and you can't exactly run away from Christmas dinner. And here's where it gets interesting. There's new research from this year that shows winter weather might actually mess with your immune system in a way that makes your brain worse at regulating emotions. So you're not imagining it. You're not weak. Your biology is literally working against you. I saw this statistic recently. Between 57 and 89% of Americans report feeling mentally drained during the holidays. Almost 70% feel pressure to look happier than they actually are, which honestly makes total sense when you're trying to buy gifts on an entry-level salary while paying off student loans and living in the most expensive housing market in history. The math isn't mathing. But then you've got Gen X, people in their 40s and 50s, who are dealing with what researchers call sandwich generation pressure. They're taking care of aging parents and their own kids, managing peak career demands, trying to keep everyone happy. And they're the most vulnerable to complete mental health collapse during this season. And women. We need to talk about women for a second. Women report nearly twice the stress levels of men during the holidays. Why? Because even though we're all working now, women still carry most of the mental load for holiday planning. You know what I mean by mental load? It's the invisible work, remembering everyone's dietary restrictions, coordinating schedules, buying all the gifts, making sure Aunt Carol doesn't start a political argument at dinner. It's exhausting. And here's what really gets me. Researchers found 3 personality traits that create the perfect storm for holiday burnout. 1, you're agreeable. You're a people pleaser. You have trouble saying no. 2, you're conscientious. You're a perfectionist. Everything has to be just right. 3, you're naturally anxious. You worry a lot. If you have all 3, the holidays are going to hit you like a truck. But here's the good news. These traits don't doom you. You can learn to set boundaries even if you're naturally agreeable. You can practice letting go of perfection even if your brain screams at you. It takes work, but it's possible. You know what the real problem is? It's not the holidays themselves. It's what we've been sold about the holidays. We're told the holidays should be magical, joyful, Instagram-worthy. We're told we need the perfect tree, the perfect gifts, the perfect dinner, the perfect family moment. And when reality doesn't match that, we feel like failures. But here's what Wilder's found. Expensive gifts actually make people feel worse, not better. Worse. Recipients feel guilty, pressured, awkward. You know what actually creates joy? Simple traditions, baking cookies, decorating the tree, being together without the performance. So all that stress about perfection is literally counterproductive. I think about this study that came out recently. They looked at parents during the holidays, And they found that parents experiencing burnout do this thing where they deny their emotions and force themselves to appear cheerful so they don't spoil the holidays. But that emotional masking, it damages their mental health. It damages their relationship with their kids. It creates this vicious cycle where the more you suppress, the worse the burnout gets. And I think a lot of us do this, not just parents. We put on the happy face. We pretend everything's fine. We don't want to be the person who ruins Christmas. But what if being real is actually the kindest thing we could do for ourselves and for the people around us? So, how do you know if you've crossed from normal tired into actual burnout? Here's the difference. Normal tiredness gets better with a good night's sleep. You still have energy for some things you enjoy. It's temporary. Burnout, rest doesn't help anymore. Everything feels overwhelming. You're emotionally numb. Tasks that used to be easy feel impossible. Physically, you're constantly exhausted, even after sleeping, getting sick more often, headaches, muscle tension. Your body's trying to tell you something. Emotionally, you're irritable over tiny things. You feel detached from people and activities you normally love. You feel guilty about not feeling festive. And behaviorally, you're withdrawing, procrastinating, snapping at people you care about, maybe relying on wine or comfort food more than usual. Here's the key thing. Burnout affects multiple areas of your life at once, and it makes you feel helpless, like you've lost control. If that sounds familiar, keep listening, because we're about to get into what actually works. All right, let's talk about recovery. First, the quick fixes, things that work fast. Look at old photos. I'm serious. Actively engaging with positive memories helps your body re-experience those good feelings. It lowers cortisol. It activates reward circuits in your brain. 10 minutes looking at old photos can actually shift your nervous system. Music. Put on music you love and just listen or dance in your kitchen. Even 10 minutes activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of fight or flight. And this one's big. 15 minutes alone every day doing something meaningful to you. Reading, walking, being quiet. Research shows this recharges your emotional capacity more than almost anything else. Now, for deeper recovery, there's something called mindful self-compassion. This isn't just be nice to yourself. It's an actual evidence-based program with 3 parts. Self-kindness, treating yourself the way you'd treat a friend who's struggling. Common humanity, recognizing that everyone suffers, you're not uniquely broken. And mindfulness, being aware of your pain without drowning in it. Research shows self-compassion reduces burnout more effectively than traditional self-care. It's not about bubble baths, though those are nice. It's about fundamentally changing how you relate to your own struggles. The recovery timeline? If you catch it early and make real changes, 6 to 12 weeks. Moderate burnout, 3 to 6 months. Severe could take 6 months or more. And here's the important part. Recovery isn't linear. You'll have setbacks. That doesn't erase your progress. Now, let's talk about the thing that prevents burnout in the first place. Boundaries. I know, that word gets thrown around a lot. But here's the truth. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're essential infrastructure for sustainable relationships and mental health. Time boundaries, deciding how long you'll stay at events before you even go. Financial boundaries, having a budget and actually sticking to it even when people make you feel guilty. Emotional boundaries, preparing scripts for difficult conversations and knowing when to walk away. Social boundaries, saying no without explanation. And workplace boundaries, not checking email after hours, taking full lunch breaks, declining extra projects when you're at capacity. Here's what research shows. People with strong boundaries have lower burnout rates, better relationships, and better mental health. So you're not being difficult, you're being healthy. Self-compassion helps with boundary setting because it reduces guilt. When you treat yourself with kindness, you can say no without spiraling into "I'm a terrible person." And honestly, most of what we stress about doesn't matter. Families don't need flawless holidays to experience joy. Your presence matters more than perfection. Traditions can evolve. It's okay to say no to what doesn't serve you. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Holiday burnout isn't a character flaw. It's not weakness. It's a predictable response to concentrated stress amplified by unrealistic cultural expectations. The shift you need is moving from a performance mindset to a wellness mindset, from perfect holidays to sustainable celebration. That means giving yourself permission to say no, simplify traditions, spend within your means, feel authentic emotions, ask for help, rest without guilt, be imperfect. Your presence, not your perfection, is what people will remember. So if you're exhausted right now, that's information, not failure. Listen to it. Take care of yourself. Set boundaries. Practice self-compassion. And hey, be gentle with yourself out there. I'll see you in the next video.